Hi. So I wanted to talk to you guys about two things, plan and purpose. So we hear a lot of divisiveness when it comes to relationships between men and women. There are so many arguments, and honestly, I'm so exhausted of it because I love my men and I love my women, and we can be so much better. We can do so much better. And honest to God, we are better when we're in love and stable and happy. The problem is that people are looking at transaction as relationship. And that's the issue. People are wanting to get something and gain something from someone, trying to get him or her before they can get me. You can't go into relationships like that. The other thing is that people are trying to get in relationships who don't have a plan or a purpose for their own lives, but wanting to be in a relationship with somebody else. How are you going to be in a relationship with someone when you haven't figured out your own life? How are you going to show up for them on a regular basis when you don't know where you're going? You don't have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. You're still trying to figure out your career. You're still trying to move out into a home. You're still trying to save money for a home. You're still trying to do things with yourself. But yet you're over here consumed with a relationship. You're sitting here yelling back and forth, arguing with your mate, complaining, cussing, and now you got to go to work stressed. Now you're coming home stressed. So you're in these perpetual cycles of stress with a man or a woman because you haven't figured out your life yet. Because I promise you, if you had a plan and you were living in your purpose and you were figuring out some things, you wouldn't even be putting up with that. You wouldn't be putting up with that. I hear a lot of men and they have their great jobs and they have their cars and their money and their homes and they got it figured out from a tangible material perspective. But they're not feeling where they want to feel with their self-worth and their self-confidence, so they've been taught to lead with materialism. They've been taught that women are nothing but tokens and all you got to do is sleep with as many of them as you can because you don't need one, you need all. But at what point does that become excessive? Because now you can't figure out why you're feeling stressed and depressed, why you're feeling anxious, but you're sleeping with women who have low confidence and willing to sleep with you and they just met you this morning. You're trying to figure out why you're continuously attracting women who want to show their asses all the time and they want to talk about being this and being that and they want the money and they want the bag and they want your bag and they want your money and you can't figure out what you could possibly be doing wrong to attract those kind of women. Y'all gotta stop. You're attracting these kind of women because you're leading with the transactional life and it's becoming a transaction and you're attracting transactional women. Ladies, as far as we're concerned, a lot of times we don't know how to take the emotion of a man. Yes, men, y'all have emotions. Yes, y'all are emotional. Stop giving me the we're logical conversation. Yes, you have logical minds, but women have rational minds. We are not always leading with these things because we let emotion take over. We need emotional stability. We need emotional intelligence, and we need emotional responsibility. We got to be emotionally responsible for our stuff. We can't just believe that because we're women, we just get to act a fool and be all emotional and acting crazy and yelling and screaming. Nah, cut all that. Cut all that out because no one's going to want to listen to you if you're yelling and screaming. You got to be able to come to that man and give him the information. And men, you have to also listen. Women are not always looking for a solution. They're just looking for an ear. You know, sometimes just listening and them speaking it out loud allows them to work through it. Allow women to work through some things. And ladies, when I say pay attention to a man's emotions, men, talk to your lady, even one that you're dating. When you first start dating, you got to be your full self. Stop showing up as these transactions. The cars, the money, the home, it's cute. But what about you? Like, you're the person involved in all of this. That stuff can burn up in a fire. I mean, you can too, but we're talking about you being a person and being able to be honest and vulnerable and authentic and be loved and be nurtured and cared for as the man that you are. So I need y'all to start speaking on the things that hurt you in the very beginning. I don't care how pretty she is. I don't care how big her breasts are. I don't care how big her butt is. I don't care. You have to remember that at some point, everybody that's fine in this world, somebody does not want to sleep with them anymore. They don't want to look at them anymore because they get on their last nerve. So all the aesthetics are irrelevant. I want you to start leading with your hearts. Show up as the man that you are and let her know who you are. Be vulnerable, be open, and be honest because if you can't do that for yourself, you definitely can't expect her to do that for you. She is not your emotional totem. She is not responsible for your emotions. You are. You're responsible for speaking from your heart. And if you got a woman that's not trying to hear you, that ain't your woman. And ladies, stop getting with a man that has no plan or purpose. You have to get a plan and purpose for yourself. But stop dating a man that has no plan and purpose because you know he could have you and cars and clothes and money and still feel purposeless and worthless and have low self-esteem, low confidence, just like you can. So now you got two people in a relationship that have no confidence. And they're looking at the other person to fill their cup, but they can't fill your cup because theirs is empty. Listen, I know it's been a long, hard road. I know y'all are tired. I know y'all are sick and tired of other people too. But stop being sick and tired of other people. Learn how to get to know people. But the only way to get to know people is to get to know yourself. Start having an authentic experience with yourself. Start loving on yourself. Heal yourself. Open a book. Sit in silence. Meditate. Pray. Really focus on you. Listen to that voice inside your head and figure out how to calm it down. Control your emotions. It's okay to have them. It's okay to have them. But if we're going to be out here and trying to be in better relationships with each other, better relationships with our opposing genders, better relationships with our family, with our children, this stuff impacts your children. This stuff impacts your friends. It impacts your ability to live. Heart attacks and strokes are at an all-time high. Suicides at an all-time high. Anxiety is at an all-time high. Come on, people. Come on, stop being so divisive with one another. We're tired. Everybody's tired. Our brothers and our sisters are tired. Open your mouths. Get to know yourself. Understand your emotions. So many of y'all are anxiously attached. So many of y'all are fearfully attached, avoidantly attached. Figure out what your attachment style is. Open a book. Figure out what your attachment style is. If you don't want to go to therapy because you can't afford the therapy right now, that's okay. That's okay. There are resources and tools out here that are free. Accountability is free. Introspection is free. We are not in a time of excuses anymore. People, we have the internet. And just like you can learn how to do makeup and tie shoes and have cleaning tips and all the things you learn on the internet. We're learning everything on the internet now. So you can absolutely find resources to help you out to decrease some things in your life. To learn how to be accountable and responsible. Every relationship you've ever been in, you've had a hand in it ending. I don't care who you are. You've had a hand in the end of that relationship. So please, people, we got to love on one another. Our men are suffering. Our women are suffering. This is not cool. We got to have more grace for one another, more mercy for one another. We are treating people like robots. We're humans having a human experience. Stop being so hard on one another. Stop having these high expectations for people that you don't even have for yourself. Stop having these high expectations that you otherwise wouldn't ask somebody else to have. Y'all are having expectations for friends that you don't have for your mate. I said it. Y'all are having expectations for your friends that you don't have for your mate. Y'all are letting your men and your women run over you and talk to you crazy, treating you crazy, cheating on you, dogging you out, stealing your stuff. But your friend does one thing wrong and you want to hold their feet to the fire. This person's not checking on you and you're making your friend more responsible than you're making your man or your woman. If you're in a relationship with somebody, they are accountable for how they behave in your relationship. Every relationship that we participate in, you have to make sure that these people are paying attention to you too. Reciprocity is important. But please, are you being the friend that you're asking other people to be to you? Are you being the mate that you're asking people to be to you? People out here acting like their girlfriends or their wives are their mothers. Women out here acting like their husbands are their fathers. These people are not your parents. These people are not responsible for you in that way. All of us should be able to get up and move in this world as an individual, but we should want to be together. We should want to have more care and compassion for one another. I know I sound passionate, but I'm tired. I'm tired of the divisiveness. We could be better. Ladies, if you don't know how to be better in a relationship, talk to somebody. You can talk to me. You can get the book. Fellas, you can get the book. You can talk to me. You can go into my healing course to learn how to be authentic, to learn how to be a better person. A lot of this stuff wasn't taught, and so I'll give you that. A lot of people have never seen a healthy relationship in their family or in their life, so they don't know what they're doing. It's okay to admit that, but it's not okay to keep on doing it. We have to be better. Just because what we saw in our past, we're not doing the same exact thing. If we saw dad cheating on mom or dad beating on mom or mom beating on dad or mom cheating on dad, just because you saw those things and you're not doing exactly that, but you're also not showing up for your partner, it's not making you better because emotional trauma is still trauma. Emotional abuse is still abuse. We got to be better. We got to be kinder to ourselves so we can be kinder to other people. We are giving people what we have in our souls. Don't think that people are just trying to be mean to you. They're mean to themselves. They don't love themselves. They would not tolerate things from you if they were caring about themselves, and they wouldn't give you pain if they were not in pain themselves. We give love when we feel love. All right. I love you guys. Have a beautiful weekend.